back with a rendezvous, but, well, Lysol just trying to help out his teammate.
Yeah, bit of a strange decision, actually, because Life already had the exit with the rendezvous. Just looking to try to find a timing. Now they're headed into Magnum's setup, where the turret is going to take contact. And this Viper wall, previously used by teams like Loud on this map, going to allow KC a really nice C retake.
You can see from Magnum's setup here with the nano swarms. I mean, it's just to make sure they can't cross past the wall, buys time for the rotates. As they hear now, the spike's going to be planted. Nice shot onto the target. The fight into the back of the site. They're not clearing the corner. Half clearance still. Autumn snaps it back around again. They want to really just take the fight in a battle straight to them, FPX. And not messing around. Shin. So much to do. Doubled up, stacked up. They give him a freebie. 3 kills now. But a 1v2 and 17 health to do it.
Almost impossible. He doesn't have very much information about where the others are positioned. And Life, with the Sheriff just watching this smoke. Gonna put it down.
Yeah, with the double set up there, high, low, and Kamicore not quite ready there for the aggression, at least a second wave of things.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looked like they were ready for the aggression, if anything. I mean, Narrate is tucked into the corner, has his pick, should have been able to pick off Autumn. Oh, and that glance behind. And yeah, it's just the fact that Narrate isn't able to hit the go shots to be able to pick up a couple of them there in that split second. But certainly, I mean, to your point, FPX pushing so deep. They were taking a fight against Shin in Spawn, basically. And if that's the adaptation that they use going from map 1 to map 2, to keep trying to fight Kamicore at all times, never allow them to set up for the retakes, I think that's a very good strategic idea.
Works well. Really does.
And you said as well earlier, Brent, that Kamicore have got a lot of experience on Lotus. They feel very comfortable there. The desk was talking about that too. But they've also played mostly against more meta compositions and relying on having a great understanding of how those work, the timings those take, the utility that they throw. They had very good specific anti-strats in EMEA too. This FPX team does not play conventional Valorant.
No.
And the composition shows that, but also the way that they run it shows that too. And it's going to be a little harder for KC to get a read on.
KC showed her hand, really, that the stack is over towards A, forcing the pivot now in towards B. Having to stop this. I saw back position, almost asleep at the wheel there. Needs to call for reinforcements and backup here to try and play this crossfire. Setup, Bulldog singing true. Finding their marks, very wide face, but the second shot of the Outlaw is enough to shut that one down. So should be very clean and clinical round here for FPX. Second one now for them.
And it's also close to getting Ayoung's ult online, so I would assume he's going to try the chase. Berlin snipes it, steals it for his first ult point. Don't worry, we don't need the Gecko ult anyway, I suppose, as we head into the bonus round. It would have been nice to have it online. Still possible, of course. Ayoung might get it for post-plant here, with something like an ult or pickup and a plant. But KC, the war machine, starts to rumble. Tomashi picks up the Odin.
One enemy remaining.
This team as well, Kamicore. Wallbang lineups. I mean, you're seeing FPX as well take a turn with it as well, initially in the prior round, but now we're getting started. Just trying to punish that peak. You can hear the shoulder just sticking out of life. He goes for another one.
Very bold, very confident. He was dominating in the individual fights when it came to Icebox, so I can respect that level of confidence. But KC, punishing him there. And despite the fact that there were 3 players from FPX defaulting over towards Mound at the beginning of the round, they don't actually have any control there. Double smokes, and Ayoung's Dizzy has had to be used twice already in the round just for Mound control. So they're still 10 seconds away from using that in any kind of push into C.
Shin smokes as well. I mean, they jut out just far enough to really put the fear into FPX, wondering if there could be a player lurking and creeping. The door is going to be hit there with a switch. Now a call is made. Paranoia, Dizzy, everything offloaded all together. Shin is really in dire straits. He needs some help from the rest of his team. Dodging and juking side to side. How does he get the 1 kill eventually? Falling. Backing away here, Narrate realizing he has to respect this one, doesn't want to toss away his life, wants to play for the full retake with the rest of his team now. Plant, potentially denied there. That's a perfect placement of the nade, yeah. And a kill.
I mean, if anyone was going to go down, and I thought it would be Autumn on 30 health, but Lysol just tanks it. maybe not hearing that in the moment.
The rate, despite the fact that he's spamming down, trying to get a second. Finally, the apple taking out all of it, leaves it to Berlin. He's just got so much working against him. Berlin, hello. Here's your time to shine, but Tomazi shuts that one down right quick. So, bonus round conversion not there, but he made it a hell of an expensive round. I mean, listen, only one player surviving.
Yeah.
KC.
Absolutely. I mean, when Lysol goes down to the nade, it looks like KC are going to have their pick of that one. It's going to be an easy battle, but Berlin once again in a pretty similar manner to what he did in round 13 on Icebox.
30 seconds left.
So being able to get way more value from a position than you would expect from him makes it very damaging to KC's economy. So now, Karmine Corp coming into the next round have a Bulldog and a Judge to work with. Martin is playing Judge Raze here at the front of B to start this round. FPX haven't been wandering close to B, but I wonder if they're going to try to set up some kind of trap here on Mound.
Only a chance of it.
Open the door, blast pack out, do something crazy with the Judge perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, Shin's position is playing really quite far forward there.
The problem is, the more space that you give them over towards A here, Brent, the more that you're going to allow A-Young to get set up with the Thrash, push Magnum into uncomfortable positions, and get plants down on A. So this is, despite the fact there's a Killjoy and an Odin playing on the A site, this does look a little weak.
There it is now, Thrash clearing out towards tree. Magnum smart enough to give up the space. Be free gained now. Plant down for Berlin. Unconventional plant spot. Post plant doesn't allow you to play from stairs to really try and spam that one down. It's actually tucked to the corner. Heavy reliance on tree. See if that bites them here. Here's the initiation. The moves in with the Judge, eventually shutting down that threat. Martin can't get anything done, but Karmine Corp still there with the rifles. Off to the side, Autumn inside the smoke. And the rate. Last player left standing. 1v2, maybe even second-guessing himself, wondering if he gets another one, could be played, but no, now making the smarter decision here, so saving a rifle, running away with it, so FPX up to a third round.
Yeah, getting themselves into a really nice position. The thing that catches Karmine Corp off guard there when they go for the retake are the unconventional swing timings from FPX. As soon as they hear the Paranoia double blast pack come out, FPX don't respect it, they swing into it. And that catches KC as they go to try to push off the back of the utility, taking gunfights at unfavorable timings. And you'll see here, Berlin just manages to catch this one. And you also have Autumn coming out through the smoke. Perfect timing to try to catch Martin in the back.
Enemy remaining.
The damage that they did on the bonus, capitalizing there. And leading to a really nice beginning to this map from FPX.
That's fantastic. Keep this one going as well. Listen, generate the ultimates, keep using them to just snowball your way forwards. I think the more rounds as well that FPX get and start accruing is that question you brought up earlier, you know. Karmine Corp, they've been playing against the metacomps. How do you deal with something that's a little bit less standard, especially against a team that plays a little bit less standard too? You know, FPX, we've been seeing them play. I mean, they don't shy away from a lot of individualistic plays.
No, not at all.
Shin tucked to the corner. Will he be taken out? Yeah, and dealt with. Winning the showstopper there against the weaker buy.
Yeah, so expensive, but starting to build up to, you know, a Viper's Pit for the next as well. So the ult cycle is still not in a terrible situation, even though they felt it necessary to invest that. They're in a great spot to be able to close this one out too. The weaponry is not great on anyone other than Nare.
Holding all the players down for the double face. Autumn, 3 in a round, might be looking for another one. There it is, the fourth. So
with the classic of all things too.
Steadily building his way back up to his own ult that he just expended. 4-1 here. FPX might be starting to run away with it. Important round coming up now. Take a look at the economy. Karmine Corp be able to get some of those rifles online, but they don't have any big ultimates of their own, really. Yeah, I mean, okay, Martini's one away. Maybe if he gets a kill, get the showstopper too, but it's imperative, really, that they put a stop to FPX here.
Especially if Lysol starts getting into position to pit on the site. Because we saw that on Icebox, that the pits and the more aggressive post-line positions really messed with KC in the way that they wanted to approach things.
Early fight. Here, my life. Doesn't expect that Shin has already crossed one way. Might just see the feet.
Not quite catching it.
Yeah, not quite.
Oh, has he got a glimmer of it there, perhaps? I don't think so. The boombot used from Autumn close to B main as Life forced to teleport away. Autumn has not quite cleared Thomas yet.
Yeah, it was broken. It gave the indicator. It gave the indicator for Autumn.
Great movement to be able to escape.
Really heads up as well. Knowing that the boombot was cleared, he's expecting it. He's like, okay, potential there, behind the box tucked. First kill for them, so 50 seconds now. Making the moves over towards the A site. Magnum is here, ready and waiting with the setup. That's the Nanostorm still. Paranoia goes wide. He's holding an off angle. This is really quite aggressive. And Autumn just offsets the movement ever so slightly enough. Flank around Shin. They weren't expecting that one with the TP, but he's only one man. What can he do? Paranoia glides, TP in face.
No way.
No way. No way. Shin. That's monstrous. And Life, he's nowhere near. Sticking this one through. Where's the defuse, but not a clue. Still half on it. Live. Puts him to bed, puts him to rest.
What a kill to end that! And what a play from Karmine Corp. An attempt to try to set that up. And timeout called. That was an enormous investment. I mean, the play that they went for there, Nightfall into the Omen ult. They had no idea that Shin was all the way back there. They had no audio cues. Paranoia, so they have no audio cue on this either. Shin was set up for success. And Life shut it down.
I said at the beginning of the round, that was a pivotal one. Economy going to be reset here for Karmine Corp. Instant timeout called.
Yeah, this is now serious danger. KC unveiling one of their big ideas for how to go for a retake there, or at least to put pressure onto FPX as they were going for the plant. Using a really nice ult combo, still gets stuffed. And Autumn is currently sat 12-3, up at the top of the scoreboard for FPX. Finding so many good timings. His awareness in that round to be able to pick off Tamaji early on. In the previous round, to be able to catch Martin as he went for the double blast pack retake on A. Autumn has been playing wonderfully here.
Pride of OCE. Stepping up here onto the big stage.
And so many conversations about, you know, what do the communications look like within FPX? Because Autumn isn't super comfortable with only speaking Chinese inside the team, so they're having to do a lot in English too. Is it worth it? Well, if he plays like this, it is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And Life, who was at the top of the scoreboard on Reyna, is still 6-1, barely been punished. Only that one time where he overstayed his welcome slightly on A.
Double control given up, FPX happy to do so. Autumn also one away from his ult.
Yeah, and look at how that round is about to spiral the ult economy out of control for FPX. This ult cycle is getting monstrous.
Magnum is tucked here, has the stinger. Too much util, still finds the kill. Just taking the timing as well, knowing they were going to explode into the side, and he backs away, so toss away his life for no reason. Plant.
This is going to be difficult, though, for Karmine Corp, because they're going to come back into this against potentially big ultimates, if Autumn or Lysor are able to get a pick. There are huge ults on the other side. It might have been a good idea to try to stack one of them, the plant.
Yeah, potentially, because Martin's now going to be coming back in. Nade, rebounding, snake by ults, offloaded. Thomasy, what a shot, what a shot indeed! The players are toppling here, the rifles matter not. Karmine Corp on display, showing exactly what makes them that #1 seed from EMEA.
And just a bit too passive from FPX.
Thrifty.
Resting on their laurels, not remembering the game plan that they had coming in. And that's our second MasterCard Thrifty of the series, I believe. But from what we'd seen earlier on, when Karmine Corp were fighting aggressive post plants deep into spawn, to this, like almost the most passive way that you could play this situation, not loading the plant into Lysor or Autumn, where you would have a big ultimate to be able to work with. Bit of a misplay, but like I said, the ult cycle is demonic right now for FPX.
Online.
They have Literally everything, yeah.
This A-Rubble fight not being contested early by FPX, so had nothing to do with it. KC not even really using too much util of their own. Stalemate just to start things off. Knife with the tour de force. Hoping that he can contact in as a slight gap into the smoke. He was praying that Magnum potentially cross into the sideline.
And Magnum is just holding angles where he would be able to catch people, you know, blast packing in with an ultimate. He's looking to try to catch Autumn in a very non-committed place, Magnum, but one where he can just catch headshot sightlines.
ISM flying out towards B. Narrate's going to be calming this. You still.
Not a full commitment though at all, is it?
No.
It's just supposed to feel fakey.
All over the place here, but really there's not too much behind it. Still, okay, Prowler, peek, Martin, what? A shot, the quick scope of life. Shuts that one down, now the showstopper. All laid out on top of it. Magnum, he's out of there, vacates it, wants nothing to do with it. Side control going to be gained for them. Fight's being lost all over the place here with Thomasy losing that one. Paranoia swing through, a little bit delayed here, but FPX are the ones that are coming out on top. Kill feed, filling up with red, and that's all they're seeing right now, hunting for the kills. Magnum, lovely shot with the discipline. Shin, he's setting the aim just enough, 1v2. Does he still choose to make a go of this?
He's worried about those aggressive timings that FPX like to take. Fear in his heart, causing this to be a retake. Sorry, a save. Meaning that KC are in a hole right now, and in a whole lot of trouble. FPX still with some big ultimates that they didn't feel incentivized to use there. We were watching that fight happening over towards the defender's side spawn. Actually, the big deaths happened in Waterfall.
Yeah.
Those are kills that I think either happened over the top of or through a smoke, and obviously that first pick is massive. But yeah, just as that smoke was about to bloom, it's a one-way actually from Berlin. That's so nice.
Interesting ideas.
Lovely idea. And not something that KC was set up to deal with. It is an attack-sided map from everything that we've seen, but FPX here are looking so much more successful than they did on Icebox.
Cover going out.
One ways exchanged, Berlin. Looks like he could be playing into a deeper angle, potentially even inside the one way, but...
FPX previously, when they had Ayoung's ult online, did end A. They expected it to only be one player there. It was Magnum with an Odin. And now Ayoung looking to make his way towards A again. But Berlin with the spike on B. So there's a serious potential that this becomes an A fake with the Gecko ult into a B pivot. That's going to be challenging for KC to deal with.
I think it depends on the success of these A players. Berlin does have the ult tucked away to reposition to A if they are going to find a kill, but no. All broken wide. Paranoia was sent flying a bit prior here, and they've put players into 4 positions with Lysor to be attempting the backstab.
Weird though, because that means no pit available on site.
Lockdown. Close forwards here with a Thrash. They want to seek to try and fight this one. Really far back positions. Can they deal with it? Magnum nails it with a detainment. That's 2 players there. They can't actually enter the fight, but really, they've done the damage here with the bodies. Nothing to break this lockdown whatsoever. Life was being pressured onto that position. Once more, detainments across the board. Narrate sticking forwards here. Sees half on the board. Magnum really just seeking to delay. He's got his teammates back. Ayoung forcing out the wingman. Horn drops down, rebounds, half on it, really needs to swing wide. Magnum needs to shut it down, not even necessary. It's Carmen Core with the win in that round. Themselves that 3rd one.
Really important round for KC to be able to get on the board. But I like the ideas actually from both teams. Sure, we didn't see the pit on the site, but we did see them save that Thrash for a post-plant situation to try to challenge the lockdown. Unfortunately, the fights just simply didn't go their way. Magnum being able to pick up both of them in that situation is just enormous. If he hadn't picked up both, there's a great chance that FPX are able to push forwards, get the kills, break the lockdown, and it's a round done and dusted.
A lot of aggression out towards A Rubble now. Well, okay. Deep Horn just tagging up there onto Lysor. Couldn't stand his ground there, and even life traded. Taking out Paranoia to set that one up, jumping up into their face. Shots going wide. It's the weaker weapon, so it should just be an easy job finishing them up.
One enemy remaining.
Strenuous. There's a rifle gained here for Berlin.
He doesn't have the spike.
No, he was hoping to just TP himself out of there and doesn't win the fight out. So, real rapid one in round 10.
But now FPX rifles back on board. And this is where the ult cycle has declined a little bit here for the attack side team. But they haven't really been able to find use out of this pit. It's been the one big ultimate, actually, that they haven't used at any point. They're going to take a timeout here, discuss what the round game plan should be. I feel like the game plans have been good from FPX.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, apart from that one round, was it round 7, I believe, where they just played a little too passively. For the rest of it, they've been up, aggressive in Karmine Corp's faces, forcing the duels, utilizing nice pieces of utility like the one-way on C, the thrash to push the lockdown over towards B as well.
Really proactive calls being made by an FPX team that, honestly, I thought were going to be riddled with these communication issues, you know, having to really translate twice, you know, Berlin having to talk and describe these game plans throughout. It led to the macro game of FPX looking a bit weak. I mean, Magnum pointed it out. We've said it many times now over the course of the series. But that hasn't really been the case. I mean, they have been rapid in terms of the way they've been pressing the issue, forcing KC to react to them. And it's been by hair's breadth, really, in terms of KC being able to win some of these rounds out. Maybe they can even it out. Maybe they can make it 6-6 here. Timeout is being taken by FPX because they're feeling that struggle now to hold on and maintain this lead that they've gained.
KC have also, I think, found it a little difficult to tell exactly where FPX have been moving around the map. Because they're playing quite far back. I mean, they push forward in like B main at the beginning of the rounds, that kind of thing. But generally speaking, Karmine Corp are taking a more passive approach to the defense, relying on those good retakes. And that's giving FPX a lot to work with. Here we see KC start the round with 3, ready to play around A Rubble. A very classic setup here on the defense.
Just a one-way used. Berlin hoping they hear the sound cue of that one. Viper's Pit dropped down in through C.
And Narrate actually saved all of his Fade utility. Didn't throw any for the Rubble fight at the beginning of the round. They're not worried about that area of the map. KC have maintained control of it at the start. And now you can see both teams saving a lot of their utility. They're expecting KC to play passive, and they're also not really fighting Rubble, so both teams coming into the mid-round here with tons to work with.
Just conserving everything. A lot of contact plays online. Reclearance of Rubble is called. Snakebite and a nade combo is excellent, but no players ready to receive. Still, it gives them the space. Haunt really actually catching onto a few of these players. They're lucky to be alive, backing away. Meanwhile, out through B, that's a trade from Ayang, and even more so.
Oh, that's wild.
He's ripped away Narate's head.
And he's just swinging through an Nanoswarm there as well. He's opened the round up so wide for FPX. Looking to try to get another, and he does. Ayang's been such a beast in this series so far.
Hit dropped down. Berlin's watching for it. He can hear it, the rumbling of the footsteps. That is 7-2-4. You're exactly right, Josh. I mean, Ayang has been a difference maker.
Like I said, Narrate didn't use a Prowler, a Seize, a Haunt, whatever, at the start of the round. But he did Prowler B main, and he found out that there was a Lurker there. But he thought it was only one. Magnum is about to pull out his turret after killing Life there, because they are so convinced there would only be one B Lurker. They're getting caught off guard by the unconventional way that FPX are playing, and it creates moments like that, where KC have an assumption that is wrong, and it bites them in the ass.
The money is just absolute bargain bin purchases for Karmine Corp. Working with scraps for the final round of the first half. It's led to them to make the decision, really, to just give up C. I mean, they went aggressive towards B main early, hoping that they could maybe get a favored fight, taking it with the numbers that they've got, but for now, space given and granted for FPX out towards C mound.
And Ayang picks up his ultimate. So FPX really happy to work the map. And this is looking like another one where they fake it. Bit of a feint over towards C. now opening the door, putting pressure on Magnum here.
Pulls out our trap play setup, this wall tucked behind it. Magnum, maybe he could do something about it. Nightfall here, forward sound cues, missing, taken away. Plant still online for it. No, he's just spotted. Everybody watching towards the wall, but that is a nasty shot by Thomasy. And through main, able to block that angle up. Actually, might just be through to Smoke here. Oh, sound cues, Life is really just going to rely on his aim. Smoke finally blooms and blossoms to cut off these available players, but guess what? That flank of Lysor is coming in right from the side. Thomasy sticking, half already, has to get off of it, has to get the kills, but not expecting it. The full wrap around and an 8-4 finish for this opening half.
Very nice ending there from FPX. Good way of adding extra layers into that. And a very competent attack side on a map where KC have been very dominant in EMEA. It's an attack-sided map in general, so don't count out the European squad from being able to make a comeback happen. But the pressure is now firmly on them.
I'll send it down to the analyst desk to break it down.
Thank you very much, guys. It is a great half and a nice start from FPX here. But let's take a look at a Verizon high-speed moment of the match, because this one goes to Shin. And what a play this was, Mimi.
Yeah, it was impressive, right? But this round started off so good for FPX. They got a huge advantage. And then Shin, I mean, just incredible instincts to get behind instantly on this TP and almost win it. But he did lose the round in the end. And that's the story of this half. It is FPX up 8-4. And for me, this was a very different FPX from map 1. It wasn't defined by Life going crazy, by these super aggressive pushes in the late round. It was instead them playing really good fundamentals. Starting off their 1-3-1, pressuring the extremities, and then late rounds, making really good reads and actually out-calling Magnum to get ahead.
Yeah, I think they out-mental the plan that K-Corp originally had for this map. If we look at the Viper wall that they were using from the attack, it differs completely from what we see in EMEA. We were talking about the Odin, Thomasy going crazy on that. It doesn't hold a lot of value if that position is not going to be held by them.
But this does get risky in the second half. This map, as the casters were highlighting, it's a lot harder to defend on, even with FPX having this lead. And I think on this defensive side as well, this is where we really get to see what this team is made of. They have to be on top of these rotations, because Karmine Corp is a team who's really good at selling these little fakes, at playing into the right site in the mid round, and then having super strong post plants.
Yeah, it is a healthy lead, but a pistol could change everything as we head back into the second half. With your casters, it's Brennan Sideshow.
So for Karmine Corp, I mean, backs against the wall with this one. Hefty lead for FPX. Look to keep it going with the pistol.
Look at this pistol round buy. It's really interesting, actually. We've got 3 players with Sheriffs online. Shin on attack side Omen has bought 1 smoke and a teleport. So he's clearly planning to get value out of that as part of their pistol strategy. But if they're going to end B here, that means that they're only going to have 1 smoke. They're going to fight Heaven aggressive with the Viper wall.
Oh, again, trying to disrupt this one. FPX cracked open the wall out towards C, tried to double face this one, but they've gotten deep into Heaven. Karmine Corp. There's the second protocol, just leaping, boundless, man. Jumping straight into the face of Ayang, and he can't withstand that kind of pressure. Into Link now, Paranoia. Sent flying, corners cleared, making sure they're there with the diligence. Nade rebounding, but Magnum holding down the ground, forwards. It's the approach, but again, there's just nothing to deal with this guy. He's just rattling off shots. Left, right, and center, straight from main. Finally smoked off. Berlin defusing. Half, sticking, hello, gets off of it, but now damage is done. Snakebite tap, they've got to realize this now, surely, with the time cues, but they all collapse in time. Karmine Corp, the pistol round win.
I thought there was a little bit of danger there. Turns out, Thomasy, he had his orb and a snakebite on the plan. So not too much danger. Berlin was maxed out at only being able to get half on the spike. This is the play, though, that really wins them the round. They're not just fighting Heaven aggressively with the Viper wall. They're planning to swing through their own Viper wall to be able to hard clear out anybody that was looking to try to play retake in that area. Great pistol round strategy. Well cooked up by KC. Gives them a chance.
A lot of util going to be expended here by KC. Some control towards a rubble, but a stack of 4 players is going to be meeting them pound for pound. Yes, they don't have the weapons, but they do have the util. And look at that, Dizzy connection. Which way is the fight going to go? Paranoia blinded up. FPX could have gone in any direction, but eventually it's the Bulldogs that carried them through it.
Yeah, after that initial wave of utility, got the first 2 kills for FPX. They just couldn't quite hold on. As soon as the KC players could see, they shot back.
Last player standing.
And Life tries to make the play there, shut down. All down to Berlin. We've seen some outrageous situations from Berlin so far in this series. He's managed to pick up a Bulldog. But I think this would just be a little too
Spike
much.
planted.
He's gonna need a freebie.
Karma Core haven't really been offering too many of them. There's an option though. Magnum's just jiggling the corner out towards Link. Berlin making sure to clear everything before he starts the approach now. 1 smoke, 2 smokes. Freshly rejuvenated.
He's found a timing past Magnum,
Yeah,
but he's set up a crossfire. This triple setup is so strong.
You just don't win it. There's too much to account for. Too much to account for. So, 3 players surviving here for Karma Core. 3 rifles to carry into the bonus.
The Bermuda Triangle post-plant setup, you ain't getting out of that
No,
one.
you can't do it. Can't do it.
So yeah, this is going to be a fairly potent bonus round, but not the most that we've seen. There was a little bit of damage there. Also something to keep in mind, Autumn was 12-3 to begin this map. So you look at where he is on the scoreboard right now, he hasn't been doing too much since that absolutely electric beginning.
Bit of a struggle.
In order for FPX to be able to close this out and take their 2nd map ever at a global event, you're going to need big players like Autumn or Life to really make sure that they can close this one out.
Berlin trying to make the most of the Odin spam. Well, that util was used just to set Shin up into a forward position through rubble. Now the 2nd wave is going to be used quite early on here. I mean, talking a minute 20. Now, Karma Core could look to try and go all the way back over towards A. Berlin. He's going to get pushed out into the open. He's going to get pushed out into the open!
I mean, the Berlin moments.
My! Berlin, what are you doing?
They are wild.
Oh no, I can feel it, the danger zone. And it's there. FPX now forced to try and do a lot more. Ayang out wide into the open. Lysor, he's found his straggler up onto the opposite side of the map, but really the damage is done. Life has to make a go of it. Wall fades, no one accounting for it. Spike dropped down, he's brought this into a 2 versus 2. Definite chances here for him.
Serious opportunity for FPX to be able to recover this. Oh, that's a ton of damage onto Life, though. The Odin spam perfect, but he might have distracted for Lysor to find a timing.
What happened to backside? Shinny's just on top of the ropes, man.
That's a bonkers play to go for.
This post plant now gets so much more difficult. Lysor, how do you cut up these angles? How do you find the right fights? How do you isolate them? He's not even clearing Shin. Tucked up there, and there was a player ready to swing. Him and Tomazi, dynamic duo.
Should have been more dangerous than that, actually, for Karma Core. Shin somehow manages to make that one look easy by pushing with an Odin into heaven. But it's the player on the other side. It's Shin's opposite, Berlin, who just threw the round away so early on. This is an anti-bonus. You have an economy advantage to clear the round out, and he just wanders out through the rotating door. It's the kind of play that you should never be going for. And I think he just got completely lost with what was occurring there. Didn't think that KC were committed to rubble whatsoever. And we've seen a few moments from him throughout this series. He's matched the big round-winning plays with those kind of moments where he loses the plot a little bit.
Certainly has. Interesting play by FPX here on their half-bar eco, whatever you want to call it. They throw a ton of utility at a rubble, and they over-rotate immediately, so they have the stack. They're trying to force Karma Core right into them. They're going to get their wish granted. Martin can't see anything yet with the Phantom in his hands, making short work at him. Wide face, driving by. 1 player left standing, it's Autumn. Feels his position. Earns a kill because of it.
Spike planted.
Really should not be any more danger in this.
With the stack dodged, KC should be able to rely on their discipline to get them through this one. No problem. The time's an issue. Autumn's been stuffed into a corner, has no idea that these two players are so close.
He's getting bullied. Lunch money taken here. The high-low setup. Very little chance and opportunity. And so 8-8.
And not only 8-8, Bren, Karmine Corp now actually favored, in my opinion, because I talked about it on the attack side for FPX. The ult cycle is just monstrous. Look at what they're starting to get up to. Nightfall, Lockdown, available. Those are going to start to build up. The Pit and the Showstopper. This composition has so many tools to be able to chain stuff together on the attack side.
One enemy remaining.
And this now might be a little too late for FPX. They had their opportunities early on in this half to make it dangerous for KC. Round 15, round 16, getting that stack that you called out too, and yet weren't able to convert on them. Now they need some hero plays. Because if you just look at things, all things being even, an attack side map where KC is starting to get big ults online, with the quality of this team, FPX should be in the squeeze right now. So they are going to need somebody to step up.
That's why the timeout's called. Honestly, maybe just reining Berlin in a little bit might help. But it hasn't been costing him too much, just that one round that just sticks out in my mind, of course, when he donated over the Odin.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you have those round losing plays in big situations, they're actually worse than the round winning plays that you get in some other spots. And when we think back to Icebox, one of the worst parts for FPX was that they were only winning 43% of the time when they were up a player, when they were 5v4, when they got the first pick.
I mean, speaks volumes, I think, about Karmine Corp's ability to turn situations like that, but also for FPX, I mean, that is...
They were tossing some of those situations.
It's pretty dire, isn't it, not being able to convert?
With things like going for those mid-round reclears and trying to take possession of the round even though you were up players. It's a very risk-positive play style that FPX have, but they can bite them. This is where you gotta try to take the risks, though, I think. You can't just sit back and allow KC's ults to come at you.
Nightfall, whole cacophony of util, used to try and clear out towards the C site. And Shin's ult just being offloaded here, so...
Yeah. Looking to try and put pressure on anybody who might be anchoring into the site. They would have been deafened. Shin might have been able to get huge value out of an ultimate there. But they're not overstepping themselves and overreaching. FPX are now going to be in a retake with life, opping, no ults to work with.
And this lockdown. Precise time to be used here. Ults, util, paranoia, but it really doesn't do enough damage to clear this one out. So FPX forced to run away, tail between their legs.
Yeah, the mosh, the nade, none of it finding value.
Time now becoming an issue. Here comes the approach. Satchel's in, Dizzy's there, but Wingman follows it up, stunned up. Well, cosmetic in nature. FPX still. All here now. Shin, last one left. Having a defuse. Oh! They're watching for it. They knew he was there. Barely enough with the time.
And what a retake from FPX. They hit the commit button and they won all of the aim duels. And they'd already used such big pieces of utility too.
How did they win now when they're retaking with an off?
It's wild. I mean, look, no paranoia, no nade, no mosh. Just being able to win the raw fights, particularly those kills against Martina Tomasic there, being massive difference makers. Head in hands for Zeish. That was a round that KC were expected to win and did not. Big ultimates used too. It's broken their ult cycle.
What a time to do it for FPX. Same opener for Karmine Corp. Out towards C now. Lysor, that is... The Snakebot going to be using... Wow, okay, just spamming straight through. That's one way to clear the pit. If he didn't get it, at least Martin with a showstopper might have.
And I say broken the ult cycle, but Martin being able to enter the showstopper and Tomasic being able to get the pit online as well. They're fighting tooth and nail for this. Making sure that they don't get pushed into an uncomfortable spot.
Real uncomfortable though, is the retake. How do you choose to take this one? The pit blocking off all the avenues out towards Waterfall. Thrash might be the answer here for Ayang. Berlin can't work his way through that one way. A lot of util being used to try and push them back, but look at how difficult this is. I mean, you're just clearing one section of the ult detained. Did catch, I believe, the one clearing through. Need the guns, at least with the fight. It's Magnum. Just dominating that one angle. Looks to really just step towards them now when he spots the final few players, and Berlin's out of there.
Oh, what a response from Karmine Corp. Kept it simple, used the ultimates, got themselves a round win. And that builds up the economic safety net that they have.
Yeah.
But now it's 9-9 with all of the big ultimates starting to try favor FPX. You know, it's going to be a while before Karmine Corp have those to rely on to be able to string around together like that. It does feel like Lotus is very based on what ults you have online. FPX, economy disadvantage, but it might not feel like that if you end up running into life. KC just looking like they want to focus on mound control into the C hit.
It's the same hit over and over again. The deep smoke that Shin places down, everybody plays inside of it to dodge any attempt of a flash repeat.
And this feels like they're just punishing the lack of the killjoy on the other side.
Yeah.
They're not worried about running into life.
They're scrimming, man. Practicing
Yeah.
the C execs.
Very much so.
Autumn does have his ult. Needs to stay alive, though. If he wants to use it in this, any chance of it, a tap from the rate. With the spike, they are trying to force out at least some util, maybe the ult out of them. Now sticking and committing into it. Ground setup. Backing them away with the rifles here. Karmine Corp, it is quite passive position, just giving up basically the back section of the site.
Does Autumn choose to ult? Down 4v5.
Would be a crazy one. That's essentially a solo swing there from Lysol, not really set up for it. Life onto the flank. Lambot notifying the team of his position. There's not too many more pieces left for FPX to do anything about it.
And these last 2 rounds have been just what the doctor ordered for KC. It was looking on a nice edge that it could spiral out of control, and instead they've kept it so clean, only that 1 round going the way of FPX. And at this point, FPX are going to have to try to come up with a different way of holding on to C. You look at how Karmine Corp are taking mound control at the start of the round. Shin throws a smoke, they get a teleport into the smoke, they have double faces in case anybody's playing aggressive. They can use Fade utility there as well, Prowler when they get in. It's all very rigorous. Look, there's the smoke that you can see. Martine's inside of it instantly. They can swing out of this in a variety of directions, avoid any dizzy. If there's a paranoia, they can hide inside the smoke. You know, creates that little safe beacon, safe haven for them to play around. But they haven't neutralized the danger on the opposite side of the map.
No, looking for a re-clear here, but it's a high-low setup. Safety, at least for some of the players. Now Swarm got to respect that one. Berlin dropping down. Nightfall now being used to clear. In the midst of all of this chaos, Berlin, man, he was setting up another one-way smoke. Still with the rifle traded. Shin rips that one away from him. 50 seconds left. Quite efficient on the attack side around here for Karmine Corp. Plenty of time left if they want to take a pivot.
But the problem is, the more the time ticks, the more Autumn's ultimate becomes a game changer. You do not want to get in a situation where you're trying to exec with only 25 seconds left and there's a showstopper on the other side. KC hoping that any stack over towards C would have been dismantled at this point because of all of that rubble pressure.
Feels like they're going to be pivoting into a B, A to B almost, with them opening the door up, but
high-low.
Set everybody out towards C, and the players, they're running away, but they hear it jumping around. Autumn, it's popped off the old high-low setup, not expecting it. The rate's already there, Dizzy avoided, but no, just catching onto him. 15 seconds left, has to deal with this player. He's got the spike in his hands, no teammates, nowhere near at all. He's got to try and force his fight out, the rate wins it.
There's
8
no way.
seconds, he's going to get this plant down. And it's being covered, surely no spam, he does. An extension into the round.
Monstrous from the rate. He's 22-11 in the map so far and trying to win this round almost on his own, waiting for the cavalry to arrive.
Horn spotting it, avoiding it. The bullets hailing down onto it, but his head just peeking out and over. No rate can't be stopped, man.
It's just disgusting. The Des was talking about, do you like his Gecko more? Do you like his Fade? Nare is out here dumpstering people.
No matter what he plays.
Playing like this flex initiator role. Sometimes we'll see him on Duelist, and you can see why when you look at this guy's talent.
That makes 3.
So many duels here that weren't favored, where it looked like an FPX player had caught him.
Ooh, Marshall. Marshall, can you look at me for a second? Oh my god.
Yeah, Shin's happy about that one.
Just This time Karmikor setting the sights over towards A.
And the push out C from FPX, they knew they had to change something up. And now Magnum's got the read on it. All right, so they were aggressive on C. Let's try and push it into A fast.
What is that? Spam through, catch onto Berlin. Didn't stand a chance there. Will they catch the C push yet? Magnum is watching for it, knowing that.
Another duel, though, where Lysor could have found the timing. And instead, the Karmikor player comes out on top, readjusting the aim.
It's fallen to pieces. Ayang makes a good go of it there. Looks away two of them, but not enough to withstand the pressure for the players there. Now a deep push from Live. He's the last one left. Hold up, rotations, players. Oh, it's a timing game. It's a timing game. Shin's seen the barrel. He's seen the barrel and he takes care of him. 12 rounds. Now game for Karmikor. One step closer to taking the series entirely.
An 8-4 half. And as soon as KC got onto the attack side, navigating danger, putting together some excellent rounds. Chaining ults, punishing the C defense, reacting correctly too. And a reminder, yeah, we thought that this would be one of the least even matchups on paper. FPX came into this one hoping to be able to get at least a map, maybe a match win, show the global stage that they were capable of so much more than they've done in the past. Now they're 1 round away from getting knocked into the bottom portion of our Swiss stage.
Face your fear!
9-4, suspended once more. Prowler connecting, Magnum holding, watching. What is that by Autumn?
Those are amazing.
Hell of a time to come alive. His team definitely needed it, and the kills are just being collapsed upon. Shin has got his ult, picks up the spike, repositions now, but guess what? Berlin might be 1 step ahead. He's running his way back over towards A, anticipating this kind of reaction. A plant, though, won't be pushed back. So Shin has a chance to close the case entirely. 1v2, Ayang has the ult, a lot of util. Shin reveals his position, Thrash. No bunny hops online, wide swing and face there. Paranoia repositions out wide to the side. Shot connects, snaps to it. Shin will not find it. FPX alive for now in the map, as Ayang is the one to do it.
What a recovery in that round for FPX to find 4 kills off the back of Guardians. 2 players, the 2 star players, Autumn and Light, just being able to pop. Those initial kills, though, Autumn, again, I keep wanting to mention, he was 12-3 at the beginning of this map. He's still only got 17 kills. If he can wake up, FPX can still bring this to overtime. The big, heavy-hitting firepower from FPX has got to come online now when they need it most. Otherwise, KC are going to win this series.
First time we're seeing a bit of aggression on the defensive side here from Life. Horns dealt with, smoke forward, so many positions to look for here, but a Boombot now, look at the levels to it, the layers to it. Boombot Prowler, you have to respect it. Rendezvous back now, and here comes the C hit. Pressure there. Martin was vulnerable up. There was a nanoswarm at his feet, but now there's a snake bite to try and respond, and a flood defense by FPX is caught. Dizzy missing wide, facing Lysor. He's got his 2 there. The rate is eager to take the challenge straight to them. He's eager to put an end to the entirety of this series, but a spike has been dropped into the middle of nowhere.
That's the big problem now. Extraction is the name of the game. KC, Magnum's trying to cause some chaos, see if he can pull people away from the C site, threaten some kind of wild lurk, but would they really push through Waterfall here to retrieve the spike? Or is it all a fake?
Subterfuge being thrown into the mix. There's a Haunt to clear the way, but Berlin is back up onto the space, into the angle, an essential kill, but it goes missing. And now Waterfall control is theirs. Autumn is there with a crosshair placement. And White now have to deal with these players. Karmikor! It's all down to 1v1. And this is it. Again, continuation of the series, or will it be that slam at dunk? Tomasi wraps it around, 20 seconds left. Spike still not retrieved. Tomasi! He finishes the job on their feet before you know it. And it's a 2-0 wrap to the series for Karmikor in their opening batch of Madrid.
That's a great way to get the nerves settled early and showcase that you can do it on the biggest stage, the Global Masters stage. These players with such small amounts of experience, but such a great system behind them. And passionate fans that are hoping they can go so much further. FPX certainly pushed them, but no map win for the Chinese squad, who still only have one so far in these 3 global showings. They'll have more chances. This Swiss